This video is about creating a quotation and converting it to an invoice. We then show you how to view invoices, quotations and other operations in the operations history. You may create a quotation to a contact or a business. Here we are on a business. This is Dumley Consulting Limited, and we wish to quote Dumley Consulting Limited for some items. We go to operations here and we press quote pro forma. In the same way as we saw with invoices and credit notes, we can have the lines format or the freeform format. Let's go for the lines format. A very similar layout appears and all the similar options are here. Attachments you can have, quote date, quote number, same applies. There's an account number, there's the name and address pulled through, and so on. So we type in something as you saw before in these line items here and here, and we press enter and it totals it up and we have our quote. Now, if we wish, we can just simply close the quote. Alternatively, we can create an invoice from the quote. We may well have come back to the quotation at a later stage when the customer has accepted the quote. So a quick way of creating an invoice is simply to go to the quote and create an invoice from a quote. So we will show you how to do that. We press on this button here, and there is an invoice with all the same information. We could also have created a purchase order from the quote because the customer has said yes to the purchase of some goods. Now we have to purchase the same goods from our supplier. So the same sequence applies. Now that we've finished our quote and created the invoice, because we've demonstrated both, we can close and we go back to the business and we look at its operations history by pressing on this tab here. The invoice we've just created will be listed here. The invoice number is here for the invoice that we did previously in the previous video. We did quotation number 4, it's shown here. And here, this is the invoice we created from quote number 4. Any related contact, we've been quoting Dumley Consulting Limited, but we didn't refer to a related contact, so we're just invoicing Dumley Consulting Limited without making any reference to a contact, so nothing is shown here. The rest of the operations history you can see. There's been a lot of other invoice activity and other operations activity. For instance, here there's an illustration of a company purchase order, a business receipt, and when it's been done in freeform style, it says freeform here, and delivery note, and so on. And we can, if there's a lot more, we can use this slider to go up and down to see more of them that take us right back. Here we can go right down to the bottom and see all of them. And of course we can use this spyglass to go back to the document we've just looked at. Let's go back to the business, and that ends this video, and our next video shows you other operations that you can create, such as credit notes, delivery notes, receipts, sales and purchase orders, and pro formas.